They're a familiar sight for holidaymakers in Greece, the colorful Kaikia fishing boats. But the traditional wooden boats are an increasingly rare sight. The European Union pays fishermen cash if they scrap their Kaikia. Dimitris MORAKIS is the last boat builder on the island of Chios. Now he has to destroy the boats that he built over the past decades. Otherwise, the fishermen won't get their subsidy. MORAKIS is appalled.
I think about all the energy I put into them and what it's meant to me over the years. And now I'm supposed to destroy all this. I'm sad. It breaks my heart. But the real problem is that it puts the fishermen in this terrible situation.
Adonis Kastanias owns a fish restaurant. He also gave up his boat last year. Taxes for it kept rising, and his catch dwindled. It was a difficult decision, but at least he got 100,000 euros for the boat. Now he has to buy his fish for his restaurant elsewhere. And he still misses his boat.
It was tough. I didn't want to destroy my boat. I'd even have paid money to keep it for myself or use it to ferry tourists. But the Agriculture Ministry wouldn't agree to it. No chance.
The UN calls the Mediterranean the world's most overfished sea, though the Kaikia are hardly to blame. The Greek government would like the boats to be used to ferry tourists, but that's not financially viable for the fishermen.
We want to save the traditional wooden boats. But to do that, the EU has to change the guidelines. There's a lot less money to use them for tourism, but the financial incentives should be the same as for scrapping them.
A museum dedicated to the Kaikia is being built on the island of Samos. The Greek Ministry of Culture has rescued 20 old boats, all lovingly made by hand. KOSTAS DAMIANIDES is an architect and an expert on Greek shipbuilding traditions. He's fighting to preserve the old boats. More and more people, including government officials, now say they should be protected as an endangered cultural heritage.
You have to keep things from the past and to save memories, to save our roots. There is the traditional boat building, which is a very integral part of this culture, and we have to find ways to keep them and to give a future, to make them alive for the future, for the young people.
Dimitris MORAKIS also gives boat building classes for young people and adults. He'd like to be able to take on an apprentice. MORAKIS can't accept that Greece's maritime heritage is on the verge of extinction. As a stopgap measure, he's figured out a loophole. Instead of completely scrapping the boats, he takes them apart to render them unusable.
I disassembled the boats in 3 parts, which are still intact. A good boat builder could put them back together. Maybe some young people will come along and want them. Who knows?
As long as Kaikia continue to be scrapped, the craft will die out. That's why Greek boat builders and fishermen are calling on their government to reopen negotiations with the EU. Even if the Kaikia can no longer ply the seas, they could at least be preserved as a tourist attraction.